Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Yunjin. Today I want to share with you 3 life-changing habits that have helped me to remain positive even when things felt like a roller coaster. These are personal habits, and it's actually kind of funny that I'm talking about this topic since I'm not really different from anyone and I'm nowhere close to a professional. I'm still sharing these, hoping to inspire you to find what actually works for you. And for those of you who doesn't know where to start building habits that could help you to stay positive, this video is for you. So a little bit about me, like close friends would ask me, how am I so positive when literally life is a shit show? Or I also get asked questions like, are you just trying so hard? As in like, are you just pushing through and being a little maybe delusional to stay positive? And these two questions led me to think, am I really delulu in a way that I'm staying overly optimistic to avoid myself from pain or, the reality? Or is there anything special about me that my close friends would ask me these questions? But after reflecting on these questions, I realized that ever since I was a little girl, I had started to build these 3 habits in my life naturally. And I feel like habits are almost like a muscle that consciously or the other way around, like you have to put work into it to build a new habit. So in my case, I didn't even realize few of these habits were even really helping me to stay grounded. But now that I look back, I think these habits are literally life-changing habits that have really helped me to stay grounded. Of course, I have gloomy days and days where I feel hopeless, days that I feel like doing nothing. But by looking back, just by knowing what I'm capable of, having these ways as these habits as tools to kind of refocus and practice gratitude and positivity even at a slow pace has tremendously helped me to regain strength and joy at a pace that feels right for me. I think it's not about forcing positivity, but rather allowing myself the space to feel, reflect, genuinely connect with myself, and gradually able to shift my mindset when I need it most. So the very first habit that I want to talk about is spending quality me time. Now, I'm sure you've heard the saying, you can't pour from an empty cup. I honestly didn't understand what that meant until I really started taking time for myself. And I know life can get really busy and we all have different responsibilities, but if we really don't take time to take care of our own selves, we can really show up to the people we care about. And for an easy comparison, when you start to like someone or you fall in love with someone, you're naturally like drawn into the person and you're constantly curious about the person and you're willing to spend time with them, get to know each other better. You want to know what they like. I think this formula applies the same to my own self. So simply just by being curious and willing to know about why I'm feeling a certain way or what I really like doing, or it gets simple as what color you like or what food you like. Even these type of simple stuff, these could be a start move if you really don't know where to start. So for me time looks different every day. So some days it could be a meditation, or sometimes it's a long walk to reset, or even reading Bible verses. And it doesn't have to be these things. It could literally be taking a long bath, listening to your favorite music, drink a cup of coffee or tea, anything that makes you feel recharged. When I was younger, I used to spend time alone drawing and playing teacher and student in my room with all of my dolls, myself, and I still have this memory of having so much fun by myself. I don't do this anymore, but you get the point. As I grew older and now I have a job and a million things to do, I try my best to make time for my hobbies and passion projects that brings me joy. So for an example, it could be helping out my close friend's business project, or it could be a work with like no commission, but actually the stuff that I want to do, I will be doing. or like creating videos like this one. Like this is genuinely a passion project that I'm doing because I want to be doing. And having something that excites me outside of my daily obligation, I think it has been such an uplifting part of my routine. So the point is that you want to treat yourself the way that you would treat someone you love. And we tend to make time for people we care about, but often we forget about making time for ourselves. Whether it's a friend, family member, or partner, you make time for them. So why not for yourself? I think it's made a huge difference in how I keep a positive mindset. So I encourage you to find something that fills you up and spend time alone and really enjoy that time and make that a priority. Number 2 is expressing my genuine thoughts and emotions. This is something that I've been doing over 20 years now, and it's journaling. At first, I didn't even know how powerful it would have been, but journaling has become a safe space where I can express literally anything from my happiness to my struggles. I think journaling is a private way for me to reflect, release any tension if there's any, and get some kind of clarity on certain stuff on your mind. If you look at these are my yearly journals and sketchbooks and notebooks that I kept. As you can see, I tend to get pretty creative with these. One other thing when journaling is to practice gratitude. It can be as simple as writing down 3 things I'm grateful for. It could literally be 3 bullet points a day. Doing this helps me to shift my focus, especially on rough days, and it's the easiest way to remind yourself that there's always something to be thankful for. But like I said, if journaling and drawing is not your thing, maybe it could be talking to a friend that you feel safe around. It could be writing letters, even, having a quiet moment with yourself to process emotions. But I think the key is to express what's inside. Holding everything in can lead to burnout and negativity, and I think just having a safe space to release was very important and helpful for me. It really does work. Lastly is treating your body nicely by eating healthy and mindfully and doing a lot of movements. There was a time when I was a younger girly, I struggled with comparing my physical appearance to others, but over time, I've learned that my body is a reflection of how I care for it inside and out, not just exterior. So instead of focusing on how I look, I learned to grow as a person to not compare myself to anyone else, but I started to really focus on how I feel instead of how I looked. I did ballet for over 10 years, so I was fortunate to have, those like stretching movements and those daily routines and habits that I built when I was 7 or 8 years old. And I didn't know that it had really helped me until I stopped doing those routines. But like I mentioned in my previous video, especially after my injury, I always try my best to listen to my body and choose foods that fuel and nourish me instead of like foods that I crave on a short-term basis. I try to stay alert to if I'm feeling off or low energy. When I feel like my immune system's going down, I try to drink lemon water or, intake more fruits and vegetables, things like that. I've learned that it's not about perfection, it's more about balance and what works best for me, giving my body what it needs to thrive. And for me, eating healthy and doing the movements have really helped me to stay balanced and grounded mentally as well. Whether it's a healthy brekkie or a soul food of yours or nutrient-filled meal, you want to be mindful of what you're eating and focus on what makes you feel good. From my personal experience, and of course from many others, staying active in little ways really keeps my energy up and gives me the boost of energy. So to wrap things up, these 3 habits might sound irrelevant to staying positive, but having these habits for a long time, spending me time and really expressing my thoughts and emotions and releasing them in a way that I like to do, and focusing on how my body feels instead of how it looks, have really helped me to stay optimistic and grounded through ups and downs, believe it or not. If you have no idea how to stay positive, just don't worry. I think it's okay to take small steps and as I made a whole 8-minute video about trying not to be perfect is totally okay. Accepting imperfection and being patient with yourself is super important. So try to be patient with yourself and remember that self-care isn't selfish, it's necessary. And maybe if you have your own habits that have helped you to stay positive, please let me know. I love to learn more. Bye! One thing I love doing is I love spending time with services and small groups and etc. But what I love most is I love the intimate time with God. And I don't know, like I didn't get to know this earlier. I love jamming on Christian music, and I love praising God while I'm driving, when I'm listening to the music, and when I'm like actually singing out loud. Like it's just, my heart is just like very overwhelmed.